In a small town nestled between rolling hills, lived a woman named Sarah. Like many people, she once found herself disconnected from the principles of personal finance. Sarah worked as a teacher, earning a modest salary. Each month, her paycheck seemed to vanish before her eyes, leaving her with little savings and a constant feeling of financial insecurity. Sarah's predicament was not unique. Many people pass through life without a solid understanding of managing their finances, leading to significant stress and missed opportunities. But for Sarah, this would soon change, transforming her life in ways she never anticipated. One chilly evening, while scrolling through social media, Sarah stumbled upon a post from a personal finance coach. The post spoke about the importance of budgeting, saving, and investing. Intrigued, she decided to read further. The stories of individuals who took charge of their financial futures resonated with her. She realized that personal finance was not just about hoarding money but about creating a sense of security and freedom. Determined to make a change, Sarah spent that night researching budgeting techniques. She discovered the 50/30/20 rule, which advocates that 50% of income should go towards needs, 30% towards wants, and 20% towards savings. She grabbed a notebook and began tracking her expenses, noting down every coffee and snack purchase, every bill and deposit. What began as a grueling task quickly transformed into an eye-opening experience. Sarah was stunned to discover how much money she spent on dining out and impulse buys. The next morning, armed with her newfound knowledge, Sarah crafted her first-ever budget. She allocated funds for necessities, reduced her discretionary spending, and earmarked a portion of her salary for savings. It was tough at first, she felt the pang of deprivation when saying no to dining out with friends. However, Sarah soon learned that short-term sacrifices could lead to long-term rewards. A few months into adhering to her budget, Sarah began to notice subtle but meaningful changes. Her anxiety about money began to wane. For the first time, she was able to set aside a small emergency fund, even managing to save a few $100s. Instead of living paycheck to paycheck, she found herself planning for the future, an idea that seemed impossible just a few weeks back. But Sarah didn't stop at budgeting. Recognizing the necessity of saving for the future, she further educated herself on investment options. She attended webinars, read books on stocks, mutual funds, and retirement accounts. The more she learned, the more empowered she felt. Soon, she opened her first investment account and began putting aside a portion of her savings into a simple index fund. This was not just an investment for her, it was a lesson in building wealth and securing her future. As her financial literacy grew, so did her confidence. She started sharing her journey with colleagues and friends, many of whom supported her, intrigued by her newfound knowledge. Sarah's story inspired a group of friends to start their own financial journeys. They began meeting weekly to discuss their goals, share resources, and hold each other accountable for maintaining their budgets. Yet, not everything went smoothly. Unexpected expenses emerged. Car repairs, medical bills, and other emergencies threatened to derail her progress. But equipped with her emergency fund, Sarah managed to weather these storms without resorting to credit cards. This resilience deepened her understanding of the significance of personal finance. It wasn't about being wealthy, it was about being prepared and having options. As the years rolled on, Sarah continued to grow her savings and investments. She pursued side gigs that aligned with her passions, utilizing the additional income to bolster her financial foundation. Each positive change was another brick in the wall of her financial security, transforming her not only into a savvy saver but also into a burgeoning investor and entrepreneur. One sunny morning, Sarah received a reminder that her income tax refund was due. As she eagerly opened her email, she glanced at her bank account, noticing a healthy balance reflecting her discipline. The thought crossed her mind, this money could easily be spent on a lavish vacation or a new wardrobe. But instead, she decided to contribute half of her refund to her retirement account. The other half would go toward funding a small scholarship for students in her community, giving back to the very school system that nurtured her. That day, as she penned a letter to the scholarship recipients, she reflected on her journey. From toiling in the dark without a clear financial compass to standing firmly on stable ground, empowered by her knowledge of personal finance. It was not merely about dollars and cents, it was about the choices she could make for herself and her community. The power of personal finance was vast, and it had changed her life in ways that reverberated beyond her own existence. Sarah's story encapsulates a simple truth: understanding and managing personal finance are vital skills that everyone should acquire. It is a source of empowerment, reducing stress, and enhancing one's quality of life. With each lesson learned and each milestone achieved, Sarah not only secured her financial future but also inspired others to do the same. In a world increasingly driven by consumerism and financial noise, Sarah's journey illustrates that with commitment and education, anyone can transform their financial situation. Personal finance is not just about money, it's about creating possibilities, building dreams, and leaving a legacy. As Sarah knows too well, financial literacy can ultimately lead to a life rich in both experiences and opportunities. Through personal finance, she found her voice and her power, a gift that will continue to give for generations to come.